ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। श्री सिद्धिविनायक मूर्तये नमः। हरि ओम। एते सहस्रमयुतं पाशाभृत्यो मर्त्याय हन्तवे। ओम अपोपस्पृश्यात् शुभं करोति कल्याणमायुवारोग्य संपदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते। दीपदेव्यै नमो नमः। घण्टनादम् ओमागमार्थं तु देवानां गमनार्थं तु रक्षसां कुर्वे गन्तारवं तत्र देवताह्वानलाञ्छनं। घण्टस्थिताय गरुडाय नमः। हस्ते पुष्पं गृहीत्वा श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। अथ संकल्पः। ओम शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये प्राणनायाम्य। ओम भूः ओम भुवः ओम स्वः ओम महः ओम जनः ओम तपः ओम सत्यं ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गदेवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। आपो ज्योतिरस्वमृतं ब्रह्म भूर्भुवस्वरों तरेव लग्नं सुरिनं तरेव ताराबलं चन्द्रबलं तरेव विद्याबलं दयाबलं तरेव लक्ष्मीपते गौरीपते ध्यङ्घ्रेगं स्मरामि शुभे शोभने मुहूर्ते आद्य ब्रह्मणः द्वितीय परार्जे श्वेतवराहकल्पे सप्तमे वैवस्वत्मन्वन्तरे अष्टाविंशतितमे कलियुगे कलिप्रथम चरणे भूर्लोकान्तर्गत उत्तरअमेरिका खंडे क्यानडादेशे एजाक्स नगरे संकटमोचन श्री हनुमान मंदिरे। Please take your names in your minds, everyone. येषां यजमानानां लोकाः समस्ताः क्षेमस्थैर्यधैर्यवीर्यविजय आयुरारोग्यमैश्वर्याभिवृद्ध्यर्थं समस्तमङ्गलावाप्त्यर्थं समस्तदुरितोपशान्त्यर्थं चिन्तितमनोरथवाप्त्यर्थं सर्वाभीष्टसिद्ध्यर्थं सर्वारिष्टशान्त्यर्थं श्री सीता लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत समेत श्री रामचंद्र प्रीत्यर्थं वीर हनुमत प्रीत्यर्थं धर्मार्थकामोक्षं चतुर्विध पुरुषार्थ सिद्ध्यर्थम अद्य अहम महागणपति पूजनम श्री दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती पूजनम श्री सीता लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत समेत श्री रामचंद्र पूजनम हनुमत पूजनम राधा कृष्ण चंद्र पूजनम सदाशिवलिंगाभिषेकाराधनं च करिष्ये इति संकल्प्य अपोपस्पृश्यात् श्री गणेश ध्यानम्। Invocations to Ganesh ji. ओम हस्ते पुष्पं गृहीत्वा ओम गणानान्त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत नशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ओम श्रीमन्महागणाधिपतये नमः। ध्यायामि आवाहयामि पुष्पासनं समर्पयामि पादयोः पाद्यं समर्पयामि। श्री गणेशाय नमः। अर्घ्यमाचमनीयं शरीरे स्नानं च समर्पयामि। सकलाराधनैः स्वर्चितं पुष्पैः संपूजयामि। ॐ सुमुखाय नमः। ॐ एकदन्ताय नमः। ॐ कपिलाय नमः। ॐ गजकर्णकाय नमः। ॐ लंबोदराय नमः। ओम विकटाय नमः। ओम विनायकाय नमः। ओम धूम्रकेतवे नमः। ओम गणाध्यक्षाय नमः। ओम फालचंद्राय नमः। ओम गजाननाय नमः। ओम वक्रतुंडाय नमः। ओम हेरंभाय नमः। ओम स्कंदपूर्वजाय नमः। नानाविध परिमलपत्र पुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। धूपदीप नैवेद्यं। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः। भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः। स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः। स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः। स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः। स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्री गणेशाय नमः। धूपमाघ्रापयामि दिव्यमंगलदीपं दर्शयामि नैवेद्यम्। ओम इदं फलं मया देव स्थापितं पुरतस्तव तेन मे सफलावाप्तिः भवे जन्मनि जन्मनि। सर्वं महानिवेद्यं समर्पयामि। श्री गणेशाय नमः। पूगीफलं महदिव्यं नागबलिदलर्तं कर्पूरचूर्णसंयुक्तं ताम्बूलं प्रतिगृह्यताम्। एलालवङ्गकर्पूरताम्बूलानि च समर्पयामि। श्री गणेशाय नमः। समस्वोपचारान् समर्पयामि। श्री गणेश प्रार्थना। पूजा तो गणेश जी प्रार्थना। ओम
वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा।
ओम एकदन्ताय विद्महे वक्रतुंडाय धीमहि तन्नो
प्रचोदयात् मूषिकवाहनमोदकहस्ते चामरकर्णविलम्बितसूत्र वामनरूपमहेश्वरपुत्र विघ्नविनायकपाद नमस्ते। गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपित्तजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारकं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजं। श्रीमन्महागणाधिपते नमः। प्रार्थनापूर्वकर्मस्कारान् समर्पयामि। अथ श्रीगणेशपञ्चरत्नस्तोत्रम्। मुदाकरात् मोदकं सदा विमुक्तिसाधकं कलाधरावतं सकं विलासिलोकरक्षकम् अनायकैकनायकं विनाशिते भदैत्यकं नताशुभाशुनाशकं नमामि तं विनायकम्। न तेतरातिभीकरं नवोदितार्कभास्वरं न मत्सुरारिनिर्जरं तथाधिकापदुद्धरम् सुरेश्वरं निधीश्वरं गजेश्वरं गणेश्वरं महेश्वरं तमाश्रये परात्परं निरन्तरम् समस्तलोकशङ्करं निरस्तदैत्यपुञ्जरं दरेतरोदरं वरं वरे भवत्रमक्षरम् कृपाकरं क्षमाकरं मुदाकरं यशस्करं मनस्करं नमस्कृतां नमस्करोमि भास्वरम् अकिञ्चनार्तिमार्जनं चिरन्तनोक्तिभाजनं पुरारिपूर्वनन्दनं सुरारिगर्वचर्वणम् प्रपञ्चनाशभीषणं धनञ्जयादिभूषणं कपोलदानवारणं भजे पुराणवारणम् नितान्तकान्तदन्तकान्तिमन्तकान्तकात्मजम् अचिन्त्यरूपमन्तहीनमन्तराय कृन्दनम् हृदन्तरे निरन्तरं वसन्तमेव योगिना तमेकदन्तमेव तं विचिन्तयामि सन्ततम्। महागणेश पञ्चरत्नमाधरेण योन्वहं प्रजल्पति प्रभातिके स्मरं गणेश्वरम् अरोगितां दोषितां सुसाहितीं सुपुत्रतां समाहितायुरष्टभूतिमभ्युपैति सोचिरात्। श्रीमन्महागणाधिपतये नमः। वेदोक्तमन्त्रपुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि। बोलिए गणेश भगवान की जय। श्री दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती पूजन। विद पूजा तो दुर्गा माँ, लक्ष्मी माँ, सरस्वती माँ टुगेदर। श्री दुर्गा देवी ध्यानम। ओम अष्टौ भुजंगिं महिषस्य मर्दिनीं सशङ्खचक्रां शरशूलधारिणीं तां देव्ययोगिं सहजातवेदसीं दुर्गां सदा शरणं प्रपद्ये। श्री जगदम्बा दुर्गा देवी नमो नमः। ध्यायामि आवाहयामि पुष्पासनं समर्पयामि। महालक्ष्मी देवी ध्यान। ओम हिरण्यवर्णां हरिणीं सुवर्णरजतस्रजां
चंद्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः श्रीमहालक्ष्म्यै नमः ध्यायामि आवाहयामि महासरस्वती देवी ध्यानम् ॐ मेधा देवी जुषमाणा नागात् विश्वाची भद्रा सुमनस्यमाना महासरस्वत्यै नमः ध्यायामि आवाहयामि दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वतीभ्यो नमः पाद्यार्घ्याचमनीयं जातवेदसे स्वनवाम सोममराति यतो निरहाति वेदः सनः परशरति दुर्गानि विश्वा नावेव सिन्धुन्दुरितात्यग्निः तामग्निवर्णां तपसा ज्वलन्तीं वैरोचनीं कर्मफलेषु जुष्टां दुर्गां देवीं शरणमहं प्रपद्ये स्वतरसे नमः अग्ने त्वं पारयानव्यो अस्मान् स्वस्तिभिरति दुर्गानि विश्वा पोष्यवितवे बहुलानुर्वी भवातु कायतनयाय संयोः जगदम्बा अर्चना ॐ दुर्गायै नमः ॐ माहेश्वर्यै नमः ॐ शिवप्रियायै नमः ॐ मन्दारवासिन्यै नमः ॐ गिरीसुतायै नमः ॐ धात्र्यै नमो नमः ॐ इच्छाशक्त्यै नमः ॐ क्रियाशक्त्यै नमः ॐ ज्ञानशक्त्यै नमः नानाविधपरिमलपत्रपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि ॐ महालक्ष्म्यै नमः ॐ विष्णुपत्न्यै नमः ॐ धनप्रदान्यै नमः ॐ इच्छाशक्त्यै नमः ॐ सर्वायै नमो नमः ॐ महालक्ष्म्यै नमो नमः नानाविधपरिमलपत्रपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि महासरस्वती देवी अर्चना ॐ वाग्देव्यै नमः ॐ वीणाधारण्यै नमः ॐ चतुरानन्दवल्लभायै नमः ॐ महामायायै नमः ॐ महामेधायै नमो नमः ॐ ब्रह्मपत्न्यै नमः ॐ हंसवाहिन्यै नमः ॐ वीणाधारण्यै नमः नानाविधपरिमलपत्रपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि धूपदीपमानैवेद्यम् ॐ सनः परशरति दुर्गानि विश्वाक्षामद्देवोति दुरतात्यग्निः प्रत्नोषि गमीट्यो अध्वरेषु सनज्जहोतानव्यस्य सत्से स्वाञ्चाग्ने तनुवं पिप्रयस्वास्मभ्यञ्च सौभगमाय च स्वा गोभिर्जुष्टमयजो निषिक्तं तवे इन्द्रविष्णो रनुसञ्चरेमा नाकस्य पृष्ठमपि सम्पसानो वैष्णवी लोकैहमादयन्ताम् ॐ कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गः प्रचोदयात् श्री दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वतीभ्यो नमः दिव्यमङ्गलधूपमाग्रापयामि दीपं दर्शयामि आचमनीयं च समर्पयामि नैवेद्यम् ॐ अन्नपूर्णे सदा पूर्णे शङ्करप्राणवल्लभे ज्ञानवैराग्यसिद्ध्यर्थं भिक्षां देहि च पार्वतीं श्रीदुर्गादेव्यै नमः नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि महालक्ष्म्यै नमः नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि ॐ वाग्देव्यै नमः नैवेद्यं समर्पयामि ॐ प्राणे स्वाहा अपने स्वाहा व्याने स्वाहा उदाने स्वाहा समाने स्वाहा ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा ब्रह्मणमात्मा सर्वं महानैवेद्यं समर्पयामि दुर्गादेवी नमः इलालभङ्गकर्पूरताम्बूलानि च समर्पयामि महालक्ष्म्यै नमः ताम्बूलानि समर्पयामि श्री महासरस्वत्यै नमो नमः कर्पूरताम्बूलानि च समर्पयामि श्री दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वतीभ्यो नमः सकलाराधनैः सुवर्जितं समस्तोपचारान् समर्पयामि दुर्गा देवी नमो नमः महामायायै नमो नमः वाग्देव्यै नमो नमः अथ प्रार्थना विल चांद कुंजिका सूत्रम Seeking the blessings of Mataji. Om Atha Siddha Punchika Stotram Shiva Uvacha Shruno Devi Prabhakshami Kunchika Stotramuttamam Yena Mantra Prabhavena Chandi Japa Shubho Bhavet Na Kavacham Nargala Stotram Kilakam Narahasyakam Na Suktam Napi Dhyanam Cha Na Nyaso Na Chavarchanam Kunjika Patha Matrena Durga Patha Phalam Labhet Adiguhyataram Devi Devanamapi Durlabham Gopaniyam Prayatnena Swayonireva Parvati Maranam Mohanam Vashyam Stambhana Uchadhanadhikam Patamatrena Samsiddheta Kunjika Stotramuttamam Atha Mantraha Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundayai Viche Om Grom Hum Klim Jum Saha Jwalaya Jwalaya Jwal Jwal Prajwal Prajwal Aim Hrim Klim Chamundayai Viche Jwalaham Samlam Sham Phat Swaha Iti Mantraha Namaste Rudrarupinyai Namaste Madhumardini Namah Kaitavaharinyai Namaste Mahishardini Namaste Shumbhantre Cha Nishumbhasuraghatini Jagratam Hi Mahadevi Japam Siddham Kurushvame Em Kali Srishti Rupayai Hrim Kali Pratipalika Klim Kali Kamarupinyai Bhijarupe Namostute Chamunda Chandaghati Cha Ye Kali Varadayini Viche Cha Bhayada Nityam Namaste Mantra Rupini Dham Dhim Dhum Durjate Padnim Vam Vim Vum Vagadishwari Kram Krim Krum Kalika Devi Sham Shim Shumme Shubham Kuru Hum 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 Kara Rupinyai Jam 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 Banadhini Bhram Ring Bhrum Bhairavi Bhadre Bhavanyai Te Namo Namaha Am Kam Cham Tam Tam Bam Yam Sham Vim Dum Am Vim Ham Sham Dijakaram Dijakaram Trote Trote Diptam Kuru Kuru Swaha Pam Bim Bum Parvati Purna Kham Khim Khum Khechari Tatha Sam Sim Sum Saptashati Divya Mantra Siddhim Kurushvame Idam Tu Kunchika Stotram Mantajagarti Hetave Abhakte Naiva Datavyam Gopitam Raksha Parvati Yastu Kunchikaya Devi Hinam Saptashatim Pathet Natasya Jayate Siddhir Aranye Rodanam Yatha Iti Shri Rudrayamale Gauri Tantre Shiva Parvati Samvade Kunchika Stotram Sampurnam Om Shanti 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 Jaikara Shirvalida Bol Sache Darbar Ki Jai Jagrambai Namo Namaha Shri Ramachandra Dhyana We contemplate Bhagavan Shri Ram Janaki Ma Lakshman Ji Jyote Hanuman Ji Om Nilambhuja Shyamal Komalangam Sita Samaropitvam Bhagam Pano Mahasayak Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatham Shri Sita Lakshman Bharat Shatrugna Hanumat Samet Shri Ramachandraya Namaha Shri Hanumate Namo Namaha Veera Hanumadhyanam Om Yatra Yatra Raghunata Kirtana Tatra Tatra Kritamassakanjalim बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकं श्रीहनुमते नमः। ध्यायामि आवाहयामि पुष्पासनं समर्पयामि श्रीराधाकृष्ण ध्यानम्। ॐ कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय हरये परमात्मने प्रणतक्लेशनाशाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। श्रीराधाकृष्णाभ्यां नमः। ध्यायामि आवाहयामि आसनं च समर्पयामि पाद्यर्घ्याचमनीयम्। ॐ कौशल्या सुप्रजा रामपूर्वा सन्ध्या प्रवर्तते उत्तिष्ठ नरशार्दूल कर्तव्यं देवमाह्निकम्। उत्तिष्ठोत्तिष्ठ गोविन्द उत्तिष्ठ गरुडध्वज उत्तिष्ठ कमलाकान्त त्रैलोक्यं मङ्गलं कुरु त्रैलोक्यं मङ्गलं कुरु त्रैलोक्यं मङ्गलं कुरु। श्री वेंकटेशाय नमः। सत्यनारायणाय नमः। श्रीकृष्णाय नमः। बालकृष्णाय नमो नमः। श्रीचक्रदेवी नमो नमः। तपाद्यों ॐ सहस्रशीर्षा पुरुषः सहस्राक्ष सहस्रपात् स भूमिं विश्वतो कृत्वा अत्यतिष्ठत् शाङ्गुलं पुरुष एवेदगं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यम् उतावृतत्वशेषानः यदन्येनातिरोहति एतावानस्य महिमा अतो जायागिश्च पूरुषः पादोऽस्य विश्वाभूतानि त्रिपादस्यावृतं दिवि त्रिपादोर्गौदय पुरुषः पादोऽस्येह भवात् पुनः ततो विश्वं व्यक्रामत् शासनान् शने अभि। सकलाराधनैः स्वर्चितं श्रीरामचन्द्रार्चना। ॐ रामाय नमः। ॐ रघुनाथाय नमः। ॐ नाथाय नमः। ॐ सीतापतये नमः। ॐ परब्रह्मणे नमः। ॐ महाविष्णवे नमो नमः। ॐ ईश्वराय नमः। ॐ दशरथनन्दनाय नमः। ॐ सीतादेवी नमो नमः। ॐ श्रीलक्ष्मणाय नमः। श्रीहनुमते नमो नमः। नानाविधपरिमलपत्रपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। ॐ हं हनुमते नमः। ॐ रामदूताय नमः। ॐ रामभद्राय नमः। ॐ जानकीशोकनिवारणाय नमः। ॐ वीरवीराय नमः। ॐ महावीराय नमः। ॐ अतिवीराय नमः। ॐ प्लवंगाय नमः। ॐ अर्जुनमित्राय नमो नमः। नानाविधपरिमलपत्रपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। ॐ कृष्णाय नमः। ॐ वासुदेवाय नमः। ॐ दामोदराय नमः। ॐ ऋषिकेशाय नमः। ॐ पद्मनाभाय नमः। ॐ संकर्षणाय नमः। ॐ अनिरुद्धाय नमो नमः। श्रीराधादेवे नमो नमः। नानाविधपरिमलपत्रपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। ॐ वेंकटेशाय नमः। सत्यनारायणाय नमः। श्रीचक्रदेवे नमः। श्रीकृष्णाय नमो नमः। बालकृष्णाय नमः। नानाविधपरिमलपत्रपुष्पाणि समर्पयामि। धूपदीपनैवेद्यम्। ॐ ब्राह्मणोऽस्य मुखमासीत् बाहुराजन्यकृतः ऊरूतरस्य यद्वैश्यः पद्भ्यागं शूद्रो अजायत। ॐ दिव्यमङ्गलधूपमाघ्रापयामि। धूपानन्तरमिदमाश्वन्यं समर्पयामि। दिव्यमङ्गलदीपं ॐ चन्द्रमा मनसो जातः चक्षुः सूर्यो जायथ मुखारिन्द्रश्चाग्निश्च प्राणात् वायुरजायत। ॐ याते हेतिर्मीदुष्टमहस्ते बभूव ते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मय परिभुज नमस्ते अस्वायुधाय नातताय धृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने दिव्यमङ्गलदीपं दर्शयामि दीपानन्तरविरमाचमनीयं च समर्पयामि सर्वरक्षान् धारयामि दीपं दर्शयामि नैवेद्यम् ॐ मधुवातारताय ते मधुक्षरन्ति सिन्धवः माध्वीर्नः सन्तोषधीः मधुनक्तमुतोषसि मधुमत्पार्थिवं व्रजः मरुद्यौरस्तु नः पिता मधुमानो वनस्पतिर्मधुमागम् अस्तु सूर्यः माध्वीर्गावो भवन्तु नः मधु 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 सर्वं महानिवेद्यं समर्पयामि श्री सीता लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत समेत रामचंद्राय नमः हनुमते नमः राधा कृष्णाभ्यां नमो नमः नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि इलालवङ्गकर्पूरताम्बूलानि च समर्पयामि ॐ सकलाराधनैश्वर्चितम् प्रार्थना है यही मेरे हनुमान जी प्रार्थना है यही मेरे हनुमान जी मेरे सिर पे भी अब हाथ धर दीजिए प्रार्थना है यही मेरी हनुमान जी मेरे सिर पे भी अब हाथ धर दीजिए राम सीता का दर्शन करा के मुझे राम सीता का दर्शन करा के मुझे मेरे सपने को साकार कर दीजिए मेरे सपने को साकार कर दीजिए श्री सीता लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत समेत रामचंद्राय नमः हनुमते नमः सकलाराधनैः सुवर्चितं वीर वीराय नमो नमः। हनुमान चालीसा गाएंगे विश्व सिंह हनुमान चालीसा तो जरा श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज निज मन मुकुर सुधारी बरनौ रघुबर बिमल जसु जोदायक फलचारी बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मोहि हरहु कलेस विकार जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागर जय कपीस तिहु लोक उजागर रामदूत अतुलित बल धामा अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुत नामा महावीर विक्रम बजरंगी कुमति निवार सुमति के संगी कंचन वरन विराज सुबेसा कानन कुंडल कुंचित केसा
रूप धरि असुर संहारे, रामचंद्र के काज सवारे। लाए सजीवन लखन जियाए, श्री रघुवीर हर्ष उर लाए। रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई, तुम मम प्रिय भरत ही समुझाई। सहस भजन तुम्हरो यश गावे, अस कहि श्रीपति कंठ लगावे। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि मुनीसा, नारद सारद सहित अहीसा। जम कुबेर दिगपाल जहाते, कवि कोविद कहि सके कहाते। तुम उपकार सुग्रीव ही कीना, राम मिलाय राजपद दीना। तुम्हरो मंत्र विभीषण माना, लंकेश्वर भय सब जग जाना। जुग सहस्र जो जन पर भानु, लील्यो ताहि मधुर फल जानु। प्रभु मुद्रिका मेरी मुख माही, जल लांघ गए अचरज नाहि। दुर्गम काज जगत के जेते, सुगम अनुग्रह तुम्हरे तेते। राम द्वारे तुम रखवारे, होत न आज्ञा बिन पैसारे। सब सुख है तुम्हारी शरणा, तुम रक्षक काहू को डरना। आपन तेज सम्हारो आपे, तीनों लोक हांकते कापे। भूत पिशाच निकट नहीं आवे, महावीर जब नाम सुनावे। नासै रोग हरे सब पीरा, जपत निरंतर हनुमत बीरा। संकट से हनुमान छुड़ावे, मन क्रम वचन ध्यान जो लावे। सब पर राम तपस्वी राजा, तिनके काज सकल तुम साजा। और मनोरथ जो कोई लावे, सोई अमित जीवन फल पावे। चारों युग परताप तुम्हारा, है प्रसिद्ध जगत उजियारा। साधु संत के तुम रखवारे, असुर निकंदन राम दुलारे। अष्ट सिद्धि नव निधि के दाता, असबर दीन जानकी माता। राम रसायन तुम्हारे पासा, सदा रहो रघुपति के दासा। तुम्हारे भजन राम को पावे, जन्म जन्म के दुख बिसरावे। अंत काल रघुवरपुर जाहि, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। और देवता चित ना धरई, हनुमत से सर्व सुख करई। संकट कटे मिटे सब पीरा, जो सुमिरे हनुमत बलबीरा। जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई, कृपा करो गुरुदेव की नाई। जो शत बार पाठ कर कोई, छूट ही बंद महासुख होई। जो यह पढ़े हनुमान चालीसा, होय सिद्धि साखी गौरी सा। तुलसीदास सदा हरि चेरा, की जयनाथ हृदय महादेवा। की जयनाथ हृदय
संकट हरण मंगल मूर्ति रूप राम लखन सीता सहित हृदय बसहु सुरभूप सियावर रामचंद्र की जय मेरे प्रभु रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलिए पवन सुत हनुमान की जय अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्य भावेन रक्ष रक्ष हनुमत रक्ष रक्ष श्री रामचंद्र रक्ष रक्ष श्री कृष्णचंद्र अनंत कोटि वृक्ष नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि ओम श्री सांब सदा शिवाय नमः ओम नमः शिवाय देवाय सच्चिदानंदमूर्तये नमो वेदांत वेद्याय योगिनां गुरवे नमः श्री सांब सदा शिवाय नमः ओम नमः शिवाय शिवाय नमः ओम नमः शिवाय शिवाय नमः We'll invoke the presence of Bhagavan Shiva in our entire bodies. You can touch the different limbs of your body, starting by touching the head, so you can follow. All of us, we pray this beautiful morning. We imagine as if you're in Kailash. This is how it is in Kailash. Cold and snowy. The best time to worship Lord Shiva. Let us thank Him for this opportunity. We are blessed to be in Mandir this morning. We bow to Him and thank Him for these priceless opportunities just to worship Him, just to express our gratitude. He has been extremely kind to all of us. We're preparing for the big night. That will be on the 18th of February, where all night we'll worship Him. We'll do Abhishekam. We will chant mantras. We express our love and our gratitude to Him. But let us do Lagunyas this morning as we worship Him, seeking His blessings always for ourselves, our families, and the entire world. Om Asya Shri Rudradhyaya Prashna Mahamantrasya Aghora Rishihi, touch the nose, Anushtup Chandah Sankarshanamurti Swarupo Yo Savaditya Parma Purushassa Esha Rudro Devata, descent of the chest. Om Namah Shivaya Tibijam, the right side, Shiva Tarayati Shakti, left side, Shri Mahadevayati Kilakam, both hands together, do Vinyoga, Shri Samba Sadashu Prasada Siddhyarte, Jape Vinyoga. So first the tip of the next finger, and when I chant a mantra, you slide it up to the tip of the thumb, and then use the thumb to touch the root of each finger and you slide it up. Om Agnihotratmane Angushtabhyam Namaha. Use the thumb now. Om Darsha Purnamasatmane Tarjanibhyam Namaha. Om Chatur Masyatmane Madhyamabhyam Namaha. Om Nirura Pashubandhatmane Anamikabhyam Namaha. Om Jyotishtomatmane Kanishtikabhyam Namaha. Touch the palms and back of the palms. Om Agnihotratmane Raya Namaha. Om Darsha Purnavasatmane Shirase Swaha. Om Chatur Masyatmane Shikaya Vashat. Om Nirura Pashumantatmane Kavachaya Hum, the three eyes. Om Jyotishtomatmane Netratrayaya Bhaushat. Sarvakratwastmane Asraya Phat. Bhur Bhuvaswaromi Tidik Bandaha. Clasp your hands please. Dhyanam. Om Apatala Navastalanta Bhona Brahmanama Vispurat Jyotispati Astoka Pratame Kamisha Manisham Rudranuva Kanjapan Dhyaye Deepsita Siddhe Druparam Vipro Vishinche Chivam Brahmanda Vyapta Deha Bhasita Himarucha Bhasamana Bhujangaihi Kanthe Kalaka Parada Kalita Shashikalas Chandakodandahas त्रक्षा रुद्राक्षमाला प्रकटितविभवा शाम्भवा मूर्तिभेदाः रुद्रा श्रीरुद्रसूक्तप्रकटितविभवा नः प्रयच्छन्तु सौख्यम् ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत अनुशृण्वन्नोतिभिस्सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमन्महागणाधिपतये नमः ॐ शञ्च मे मयश्च मे प्रियञ्च मे नुकामश्च मे कामश्च मे सौमनसश्च मे भद्रं च मे श्रेयश्च मे वशश्च मे यशश्च मे भगश्च मे द्रविणञ्च मे यन्ता च मे धर्ता च मे क्षेमश्च मे धृतिश्च मे विश्वञ्च मे संविच्च मे यात्रं च मे सूश्च मे प्रसूश्च मे सीरञ्च मे लयश्च मृतञ्च मे अमृतञ्च मे यक्ष्मञ्च मे नामयच्च मे जीवातुश्च मे दीर्घायुत्वञ्च मे नमित्रञ्च मे भयञ्च मे सुगञ्च मे शयनञ्च मे सुषाच मे सुरिनञ्च मे ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमो भगवते रुद्राय ॐ नमस्ते रुद्रमण्यौतो ते शवे नमः नमस्ते अस्तु धन्वने बाहुभ्यामुत ते नमः या तैषु शिवतमा शुम्बभूवते धनुः शिवा शरव्या या तवतया नो रुद्रमृडया या ते रुद्रशिवा तनूर्घोरा पापकाशिनी तया नस्तन्वाशन्तमया गिरिशन्ताभिचाकशीः यामिषं गिरिशन्तहस्ते विवर्षस्तवे शिवाङ्गिरित्रतां कुरु माहि गंषि पुरुषं जगत् शिवेन वत्सा त्वा गिरिशाच्छावदामसि यथा न सर्वमिज्जगतेक्ष्मगं स्वमना असत् अध्यवोचरनिवक्ता प्रथमो दैव्यभिषक् अहीगिश्च सर्वाञ्जम्भयन् सर्वास यातु धान्यः असौ यस्ताम्रो अरुणोत बभ्रुस्सुमङ्गलः ये चेमागं रुद्राभितो दीक्षशता सहस्रशो वैशाखं हेडैमहे असौ यो सर्पति नीलग्रीवो विलोहितः उतैनं गोपादृशन्दर्शन्दुरहार्यः उतैनं विश्वाभूतानि सदृष्टो प्रजयातिनः नमो अस्तु नीलग्रीवाय सहस्राक्षाय मीडुषे अथो यस्य सत्त्वानोऽहं तेभ्यो खरन्नमः प्रमुञ्च धन्मनस्त्वमुभयोराज्ञयोर्जां यास्य ते हस्तैषवपराता भगवो वपा अवतत्य धनुस्वगं सहस्राक्षसते शुधे निशीलशल्याणां मुखा शिवो न सुमना भव वे चन्दनो कपर्जनो विशल्यो बाणवागं मुता अनेसनस्येषव आभुरस्य निषङ्गतिः या ते हेतिर्मीरुष्टमहस्ते बभूवते धनुः तयास्मान् विश्वतस्त्वमयक्ष्मया परिभुजा नमस्ते स्वायुधाया नातताय दृष्णवे उभाभ्यामुत ते नमो बाहुभ्यां तव धन्वने परिते धन्वनो हेतिरस्मादृणक्तु विश्वतः अथो ईषिधिस्तवारे अस्मन्निदेहितं शम्भवे नमः ॐ नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकालाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हर हर नमः पार्वतीपते हर हर महादेव. We sing Lingashtakam. At the end of each verse, we shall chant Om Namah Shivaya. Let us sing together, everyone. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Brahma Murari Surarchit Lingam Nirmal Bhasit Shobhit Lingam Janama Jadukha Vinashak Lingam Tat Pranamami Sada Shiva Lingam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 देव मुनि प्रवरार्चितलिङ्गं कामदहं करुणाकरलिङ्गं रावणदर्पविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय सर्वसुगन्धि सुलेपितलिङ्गं बुद्धिविवर्धनकारणलिङ्गं सिद्धसुरासुरवन्दितलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 कनकमहामणिभूषितलिङ्गं फणिपतिवेष्टितशोभितलिङ्गं दक्षसुयज्ञविनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 कुङ्कुमचन्दन लेपितलिङ्गं पङ्कजहार सुशोभितलिङ्गं सञ्चितपाप विनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 देवगणार्चित सेवितलिङ्गं भावर भक्तिभिरे वचलिङ्गं दिनकर कोटि प्रभाकरलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 अष्टदलोपरि वेष्टितलिङ्गं सर्वसमुद्भवकारणलिङ्गं अष्टदरिद्र विनाशनलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 सुरगुरु सुरवर पूजितलिङ्गं सुरवन पुष्प सदार्चितलिङ्गं परात्परं परमात्मपलिङ्गं तत्प्रणमामि सदा शिवलिङ्गम् ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः शिवाय ॐ नमः
नमः शिवाय, ओम 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 नमः शिवाय। लिंगाष्टकमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् शिवसन्निधौ शिवलोकमवाप्नोति शिवेन सह मोदते। हर हर नमः पार्वती पतये, हर हर महादेव। नमः शिवाय देवाय सच्चिदानन्दमूर्तये, नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय योगिनां गुरवे नमः।
भरी उनकी आँखों में है कितनी करुणा, जाकर सुदामा भिखारी से पूछो, जाकर सुदामा भिखारी से पूछो, है करमात क्या उनकी चरणों की रज में, जाकर के गौतम की नारी से पूछो, जाकर के गौतम की नारी से पूछो। कृपा कितनी करते हैं शरणागतों पे, कृपा कितनी करते हैं शरणागतों पे। बता सकते हैं यदि, बता सकते हैं यदि मिलेंगे विभीषण, पतितों को पावन वो कैसे बनाते, जाकर सुदामा भिखारी से पूछो, जाकर सुदामा भिखारी से पूछो। हे करमात क्या उनकी चरणों की रज में, जाकर के गौतम की नारी से पूछो, जाकर के गौतम की नारी से पूछो। प्रभु कैसे सुनते हैं दुखियों की आहें, प्रभु कैसे सुनते हैं दुखियों की आहें। तुम्हें ज्ञात हो राजा, तुम्हें ज्ञात हो राजा भले की कहानी, निराधार का कौन आधार है जग में, निराधार का कौन आधार है जग में। ये प्रश्न द्रुपद दुलारी से पूछो, ये प्रश्न द्रुपद दुलारी से पूछो। कि करामात क्या उनकी चरणों की रज में, जाकर के गौतम की नारी से पूछो, जाकर के गौतम की नारी से पूछो।
ओम नमः शिवाय। नागेन्द्रहार यत्र लोचनाय, भस्मांगरागाय महेश्वराय, नित्याय शुद्धाय दिगंबराय, तस्मै नकाराय नमः शिवाय, नमः शिवाय, Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Mandakini Salila Chandana Charchitaya. Nandishwara Pramathanatha Maheshwaraya. Mandara Pushpa Bahu Pushpa Supujitaya. Tasmai Makaraya Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Shivaya Gauri Varnabja Vrinda Suryaya Daksha Dvarana Shakadya Srinilakantaya Vrisha Dhvajaya Tasmai Shikara Ya Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Vasishtha Kumbhor Bhavagautamārya Munindra Devarchit Shekharaya Chandrarka Vaishvanarlochanaya Tasmai Vakaraya Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Yakshaswarupaya Jatadharaya Pinakahastaya Sanatanaya Divyaya Deva Yadigam-paraya Tasmai Akaraya Namah Shivaya. 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 Panchakshar-midam punyam ya pathet Shiva sannidham Shivalokam-avapnoti Shivena sahamodate. Har Har Namah Parvati Pate. Har Har Mahadeva. Shive Bhakti.
हे शारदे मां, हे शारदे मां, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे मां। हे शारदे मां, हे शारदे मां, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे मां। हे शारदे मां, हे शारदे मां, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे मां। तू स्वर की देवी, ये संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है, हर गीत तुझसे। माँ सरस्वती माँ, तू स्वर की देवी, संगीत तुझसे, हर शब्द तेरा है, हर गीत तुझसे। हम है अकेले, हम है अधूरे, तेरे शरण हम, हमें प्यार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे मां। मुनियों ने समझे, गुनियों ने जाने, वेदों की भाषा, पुराणों की बानी। माँ सरस्वती माँ, मुनियों ने समझी, मुनियों ने जानी, वेदों की भाषा, पुराणों के बानी। हम भी तो समझे, हम भी तो जाने, विद्या का हमको अधिकार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। तू श्वेत बरनी कमल पे विराजे, हाथों में बीना मुकुट सर पे साजे। माँ सरस्वती माँ, तू श्वेत बरनी कमल पे विराजे, हाथों में बीना मुकुट सिर पे साजे। मन से हमारे बिखरते अंधेरे, हमको उजालों के संसार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ। हे शारदे माँ, हे शारदे माँ, अज्ञानता से हमें तार दे माँ।
श्री गणेशाय नमः, महासरस्वत्यै नमः, श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। निवेदितं भगवान श्री राम।
ॐ रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। लोकाभिरामं रणरङ्गधीरं राजीवनेत्रं रघुवंशनाथं कारुण्यरूपं करुणाकरन्तं श्रीरामचन्द्रं शरणं प्रपद्ये। श्रीराम जय राम जय जय राम। 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 श्री सीता लक्ष्मण भरत शत्रुघ्न हनुमत समेत श्री रामचंद्राय नमः। हनुमते नमः। राम राम।
Sitaram.
It's a beautiful day today. Bhagwan allowed us to be here this morning. If one person came, it's enough for satsang. Look how many people still came. A few came this morning. That goes to show your love, your devotion for Bhagwan. So last week, those who were here last week, we commenced this prasanga, this episode from Ramcharitamanas from Ayodhya Khan. And this is a unique, a beautiful conversation between a devotee and Bhagavan. And the devotee was Valmiki ji. And he asked, as a matter of fact, when Sri Ram welcomed him, Sri Ram asked him a provoking question. Tell me, O sage, Asa jiya jani kahiya sui thayahu Siya Saumitra Sahit Jaharahu. O Mahamuni, these are the words of Sri Ram to Valmiki ji. Please tell me where I can go along with Sita ji and Lakshman ji. Taha Ruchi Ruchira Parana Trinasala, where I should go and make a beautiful hut of trin, of grass and leaves. And where? Basahu Karau Kachukara Karara, where I can go and live for a few days. Remember Sri Ram, let us take him out just for a second. Look at him only as the son of the Emperor Dasharath. He could have gone anywhere he wanted without asking anybody's permission. And he could have set up a hut and he could have lived there. Remember, he went to the forest voluntarily. But Sri Ram is showing us that there must be controlled use of power. It doesn't matter if your father is the president or prime minister or whatever position your father may hold, we should not abuse that power. He's teaching us that we must have that controlled use of power. Not because you're in authority, you should do whatever you want. He's teaching us in a very subtle way. He asked the sage, where should I go and put up a little hut so that I can reside for a few days? Remember, he had to live like a swami, like a sadhu. He couldn't stay at one location for too long. He had to keep roaming the forest. Because so many saints and sages were waiting upon him to have his darshan. His purpose of coming upon the earth was not to sit on the throne of Ayodhya. His purpose of coming upon this earth was to teach us how to live. Ramayana teaches us how to live. So he had to set the example so you and I can follow. Now Valmiki ji, the beautiful description, beautiful Chandasam Chaupai, where Valmiki ji knew him to be the incarnation of Vishnu Bhagavan. And Valmiki described the incarnation very philosophically. Oh Prabhu, you're the sum total of this universe. You're Ishwar, everything emanates from you, the material cause, you're the vision cause. So after that discussion,
Sri Ram, having asked Valmiki's permission where I should go and live, had only one condition. So tell me, O Valmiki ji, where I should go and set up my little hut, but this is my condition.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram, Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
And his concern was, tell me a location where I will go. Muni udabe guna pavai koi. May I live in such a location whereby I do not cause any concern to or cause disruption in the forest. Tell me where I should go and put up a little hut, and may I cause no disturbance to any of the sadhus. Now, Sri Ram's condition, we have to understand this good. If he wanted, he could have stayed in the ashram as Valmiki ji. So Valmiki ji had some students. Valmiki ji would have had to ask one of his students to vacate his room or his little area whereby Sri Ram, Lakshman ji and Sita ji would have stayed for a few days. There are many, many ashrams around Valmiki's ashram. Sri Ram, again, the control use of power. He didn't want to cause disturbance to anyone. Tell me where I will go and put up my little ashram, and I may not cause any cause for concern. That was his main reason why he asked Valmiki ji. So after reflection, Valmiki ji, recognized Prabhu as Parabrahma, the incarnation of Bhagavan. And Valmiki ji also asked a provoking question. Valmiki could not resist a wonderfully provoking question of his own. So Sri Ram is asking him, where should I go and live? Valmiki recognized, this is God asking me where I should go and live. Tell me where you're not, Prabhu. And these were his words. Valmiki ji said, Puchahu mohi ki raho kahan. Puchahu mohi ki raho kahan. Main puchat sab chau. Main puchat sab chau. Jahan na ho tah dahu. Jahan na ho tah dehu kahi. Tum hi dekhau chau siyavat. Ram chandra ki sharan. Puchahu mohi ki raho kaha. Main puchat sab chau. You ask me where I should go and live? I am asking you a question of my own. Tell me, Prabhu, where you are not. Where Bhagwan is not. Sometimes within certain group of people, when people are watching, we tend to behave a certain way. And when no one is watching, our natural, the way how, our natural swabhav, the way how we conduct ourselves naturally, those things come out. So when we want to impress people, we behave in a certain way. When we think no one is not watching, we be ourselves. So, Prabhu, tell me a place where you are not. Then I will show you a suitable place for you to go and put up your little hut where you may not cause no disturbance. Now, quickly we turn the attention to Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavan talks about, the omnipresence of Ishvara, this reality. We look at one or two shlokas quickly, and then we'll go back to Ramayana Katha, just to strengthen this point, where God is not. Tell me a location where Bhagavan is not. Sri Krishna says in the 13th chapter, the 27th verse of Bhagavad Gita, Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwara Vinashyastva vinashyastam vinashyantam yapashyati sapashyatah. Very famous sloka from the 13th chapter. So let's look at each word carefully, then we'll get a better understanding what Bhagavan is talking about. This Ishvara that lives everywhere. Sahapashyati. You know, when we use these pronouns, is never limited to any gender or any religion or any particular group of people. Bhagavan is saying, Yahapashyati. Anyone, Jodhi, anyone who sees Parameshwara, anyone who sees Bhagavan, Samam Sarva Bhuteshu, abiding in all beings equally. This statement is very significant. Samam Sarveshu Bhuteshu. Any individual, man, woman, whoever you are, child, any person, religious person or non-religious person, anyone who sees me, abiding in all beings equally. Vinashyatsu avinashyantam. Those who see me present in beings who are limited, who recognize me as Atma present in all conscious beings. You know, we look at people sometimes and the way how we deal with them, we fail to recognize Bhagavan is present in them. And then we run once a week to our place of worship, and then we can't treat the other human being with love and respect. We can't speak to our subordinates with love and respect. We fail to recognize Bhagavan in them, and then we run to places of worship once a week, and we believe that we can repent for the bad things that we have done. We're only fooling ourselves, pyare. Recognize me as that Atma, that imperishable Atma present in every conscious being. Not only man, not only human beings, in every conscious being. Bhagavan is saying, Sahapashyati, such a person truly sees. So this is the nature of Atma, the omnipresence of Bhagavan. So tell me, Prabhu, where you're not, then I'll tell you where to go and live. And very quickly, the 18th chapter, verse 61, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hridesha Arjuna tishtanti. O Arjuna, Bhagavan is saying that I reside in the heart. And when Bhagavan uses the word heart, he means the core of every being. So the heart is only used as a point of reference. So I reside at Atma in every human being. Recognize me, O Arjuna, in such a way. And then again in the 9th chapter, verse 29, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshosti name priyaha. O Arjuna, I am present in all beings, omnipresent. I am present in all beings. None is dear to me, none is, I hate no one, and I have no special attraction to anyone. I treat everyone equally. So this is the reality. O Bhagavan, O Prabhu, please tell me, the words of Valmiki, where you are not, and I'll tell you where you should go and put up your little hut. Now, Valmiki ji told Bhagavan, he gave Bhagavan 14 locations where he should go and live. And these locations were nowhere in the Dandaka forest, no away from society. These 14 locations that he gave Valmiki ji, they're present in you and I. They're present in our bodies, or we should be aware of Bhagavan always in these 4 places and yet beyond. So that's why I chose to, for the past last week and for the next week, we're going to look at these 14 locations where Bhagavan was advised by Valmiki to go and reside. What is the first location? Tulsidas, you right? Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama
Sunahu Ram ab kaho niketa Sunahu Ram ab kaho niketa Chaha basahu siya lakhan sameta
श्रवण समुद्र समाना, जिनके श्रवण समुद्र समाना, कथा तुम्हारी सुलभ सरिनाना, कथा तुम्हारी सुलभ सरिनाना। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम,
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
सुनहु राम अब कहु निकेता, जहाँ बसहु सिय लखन समेता। Oh Ram ji, I'll tell you where you should go and reside with Lakshman ji and Sita ji. And what is the first location?
जिनके श्रवण समुद्र समाना,
कथा तुम्हारी सुभग सरिनाना. Go and live in the heart of those people who have ears like that of the ocean, as wide as the ocean, to listen to your prayers. Valmiki used a beautiful metaphor to describe the first location we should be aware of Bhagavan. The hearts of those whose ears are like the ocean, constantly replenished with the stories of yours. O Ram, please go and reside in their hearts. Now, look at the ocean for a moment. Look how many rivers, look how many streams, look how many other sources of water flow towards the ocean. The ocean, it doesn't matter where the water comes from, the ocean accepts everything, all different sources of water. And the ocean, certain parts may be rough, but it's generally calm. Sometimes the seas are rough, but they accept the water from all different sources and it doesn't spill over. We must have ears like that to listen to the glories of Bhagavan. Look how many times you've heard this katha, Ramayana katha, Bhagavad katha, the glories of Bhagavan, but yet we have this insatiable hunger that we always want to hear it more and more and more again. Another example, when you truly love someone, your spouse or fiancé, husband or wife, when you truly love someone, you always want to hear people sing the praises of that person. Is that true? When you love someone, you always like people here to sing the praises of that person. Bhagavan is the source of all love. When we love Bhagavan, so much love for Bhagavan is in our hearts that we constantly want to hear the glories of Bhagavan. We always want to hear the praises of Bhagavan. So, oh Prabhu, go reside in such people's heart. Now, we should not misunderstand this statement. It doesn't matter when we read this statement, please don't misinterpret to mean that Bhagavan does not reside in people who do not have this likeness for his katha, or people who don't believe in him. Bhagavan lives in every heart. Bhagavan lives in every heart. But these people who have a likeness for Bhagavan, those who want to hear his katha, their ears are like that of an ocean. Always want to receive a message about Bhagavan, learn about him. So let us not misinterpret and judge people who don't have this shraddha. People may not have that love for Bhagavan like you, but don't judge them. Bhagavan resides in their heart. They may not recognize it, but Bhagavan is there. So, O Ramji, please go and live in such people's heart. And there's one other line for the other chaupai. So we'll just look at the first location today, right? God, there's a lot of information, and I don't want to overwhelm you with too much information, because next week I'm going to ask you what you heard last week. And you have to remember and tell me, or else we're now moving forward. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Tinake hiya tumha kahu griharure. Those people who always want to listen to your praises. O Prabhu, go and reside in their heart. Now, existence, Bhagwan, as I said earlier, Bhagwan, existence is not the same as recognition. Some people, you ask them, do you have a soul? They'll say, I don't know. Or some people say no. If you ask them if animals have soul, they will say, some cultures teach that animals do not have soul, so we can slaughter them, we can eat them, and we can ill-treat them. They don't have soul like you and I. What Bhagwan is saying, go and reside indoor, is teaching us to always be conscious that the core of every human being or every conscious being is Atma. Let's not forget this important statement from Bhagavan. Reside in their hearts, Prabhu, who always want to listen to your praises. Now, this ancient tradition of ours teaches that we must be always aware of Bhagavan. Sometimes we get carried away with material things. And life takes us for a ride sometimes. We fail to recognize Bhagavan. Sometimes to get our way, look how many things we manipulate sometimes. And you and I have come from a tradition whereby the life of the saints and sages who have discovered Bhagavan, they treat everyone the same. They have no enemy. There was one saint by the name of Tukaram from Maharashtra. Probably you must have heard about Tukaram. He wrote some beautiful bhajans. Once, he was walking the street singing the glories of Bhagavan. He sees Mujh mein Ram, Tuj mein Ram. He sees Ram in everything. No one is excluded, or no one is different from him. He looks at the Ram. For him, everyone is the same. Everyone is sab-samana. And he was walking, and some wicked boys had pieces of stick in their hand. I know teenagers, when they have nothing to do, and all they to do nothing, they always get in unnecessary trouble. These boys saw Tukaram chanting Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, bowing to everyone with love in his heart for Shri Ram. They decide to capture him and decide to beat him. They took their pieces of stick and they gave him a fine thrashing. They beat him so much that they became tired. Tukaram was not upset with them. He continued chanting Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, because he recognized Bhagavan in everyone. A Siddha Sant, a God-realized soul. They beat him so much that they became tired. They fell on the ground. They became tired. What Tukaram did, he got up and he started rubbing their hands. Beta, are you tired? Let me rub your hand. Mind you, these people were just beating him. And he rubbed their hands. Let me massage your hand. And he never stopped chanting Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Now, you and I may not be like Tukaram. It's impossible for us to look at that. The moment, if sometimes people watch us a certain way, naturally become angry at them. Isn't that true? They speak to us a certain way, become angry at them. They look at us a certain way, become angry. This is how you and I, samsari, worldly people, this is how we react to situation. But we have come from this tradition where these saints and sages, it doesn't matter how people will treat them, whatever they say about them, physically abuse them, verbally abuse them, but they would not respond to the words of other people. They would not react. They treat everyone equally. Last week we sang this bhajan, but time didn't permit us to sing this bhajan, so we'll try singing it again. This is another saint. And this saint name was Namadev. Again, he was a Siddha Sant. He see Ram in everything, just like Tukaramji. There are countless saints I can give you example. I wanted to talk a little bit about Tukaram and also Namadev. Namadev, saints and sages, they have no material position. One who has taken sannyasa, one who has truly taken sannyasa, the trust is in Bhagavan only. Where the next roti comes from, the person does not know. The person trusts that when the time is right, Bhagavan will send someone to provide me a meal. When we hear about these stories, they confuse our minds sometimes. We worry about today. I'm not saying you should not prepare for, have RSP, have your savings, prepare for rainy days. Always do it in this part of the world. But when we look at these saints, we should learn something from their lives. So much Shraddha, they so much faith in Bhagavan that in certain examples, we see king renounce everything and became a sannyasi with their wife. Renounce everything and follow the path of sannyasa. Bhagavan takes care of everyone. Now we worry about all of these things. We're the next, this part of the world, so much things we have, so much material things we have. Bhagavan's kripa. And we waste so many things. These individuals, they don't worry about anything unnecessary. 2 pieces of clothes, one dhoti is tied around the waist and one is washed. In the morning they get up, take their bath, they wash it and put it to dry and wear another one. Bhagavan provides for all of these animals. The birds in the sky, Bhagavan provides for. You who love Bhagavan, who try your best to be a good human being, don't you think Bhagavan has been taking care of us? But we feel that we have to run and do this and that and that and that and that, and that before this can happen. Minus Bhagavan's kripa, who are you and I? Absolutely nothing. And we fail to recognize the grace of Bhagavan, the blessings of Bhagavan with us at all times. And some little things we get upset for. And we question, oh, why can't you give me this, Bhagavan? I'm going to stop praying to you. Where are you, Bhagavan? You can't see all this thing going on in my life and you're not here to help me? When you think you have a situation, sometimes we complain for things that do not deserve a complaint. We complain for so many things unnecessarily. Namdev, he had nothing. He got some flour one day and decided to make some roti for himself. So he lit a fire. He got a little katora and he placed his flour, prepared the dough, and he made a roti. He placed the roti up on the fire and he made the roti. The roti was done. When the roti was done, he picked it up and placed it in his thali. When he picked the roti up and placed it in his thali, a dog came and grabbed the roti and ran away. Put yourself in Namdev position, what would you do? आप लोग डंडा लेकर कुत्ते के पीछे भागेगा. We'll pick up a stick in our hand and we'll run back at the dog. Is that true? Just shake your head. This is how we will respond. Back home we had dogs and cats. And imagine you put something outside. We have all experienced that. We picked up a stick and you run behind the dog or the cat. Why did you take this? This is Namdev. Just made his one roti, placed it in his thali, and the dog came and the dog grabbed the roti and the dog ran away. Piche ghee ka katora liye ja rahe hai. So he had some ghee in his little katora and he started running behind the dog. Why? Bole rokhi to na khao. He recognized Bhagavan in that dog and said, Prabhu, don't eat this dry roti. It's a dry roti. Don't eat it. Thoda ghee ko lekar jao. Take some ghee with the roti and then you may go and eat this roti. Where can you find people like this in this world? Why? He recognized the statement from Valmiki. See Bhagavan present in the core of every being. Animals, dogs, no matter what. See Bhagavan present in everyone. Treat them equally. So this is a beautiful bhajan. We will sing it together. And as we sing this bhajan, let us in our own humble way express our gratitude to Bhagavan for everything Bhagavan has done. How many material things He has blessed us with. You know, sometimes when we talk about, we all came from humble beginnings back home, right? From Guyana to Trinidad, to parts of the world, humble beginnings. And when we speak of how fortunate the children are in this part of the world, some of the smart ones would say, oh, because of our karma. They think, oh, because of my karma, I'm born in this part of the world, where when I go into the store, I can see 4 aisles of cereal only. We never heard about cereal back home. You get a piece of roti in the morning. If you're lucky in Burnham time, there's no roti. You grew up in hard time like ours, there's no roti. All of us bad. And We have to be thankful for whatever we have for. If not, we keep complaining. So whatever little bit we have, let us be thankful. Prabhu, thank you for everything that you have done, Prabhu. It's all because of your kripa. We are able to survive. We have enough food to eat. We have a shelter over our head. We have more than the basic necessities, Prabhu. But we tend to forget it, and we want this, and we want that, and we want that. Let us pause for a moment and just be thankful.
है कण कण में झांकी रे भगवान की, है कण कण में झांकी रे भगवान की। किसी सूझ वाली आँख ने पहचान की, किसी सूझ वाली आँख ने पहचान की। है कण कण में झांकी रे भगवान की, किसी सूझ वाली आँख ने पहचान की, किसी सूझ वाली आँख ने पहचान की। नाम देव ने पकाई, रोटी कुट्टी ने उठाई। नाम देव ने पकाई, रोटी कुत्ते ने उठाई। पीछे घी का कटोरा लिए जा रहे, पीछे घी का कटोरा लिए जा रहे, पीछे घी का कटोरा लिए जा रहे। है कण कण में झांकी रे भगवान की, सूझ वाली आँख ने पहचान की, सूझ वाली आँख ने पहचान की। तेरा मेरा एक दूर, फिर काहे को हुजूर। तेरा मेरा एक दूर, फिर काहे को हुजूर। तूने शक्ल बना ली है श्वान की, मुझे ओढ़नी ओढ़ा दी है इंसान की, मुझे ओढ़नी उड़ा दी है इंसान की। है कण कण में झांकी रे भगवान की, किसी सूझ वाली आँख ने पहचान की, किसी सूझ वाली आँख ने पहचान की, किसी सूझ वाली आँख ने पहचान की।
तेरा मेरा एक नूर, ईश्वर जीव अंश विनाशी. The second line says, Prabhu, I recognize that you are not only within me, you're present in this entire universe and yet beyond. फिर काहे को हुजूर तूने शक्ल बना है श्वान की. Oh Prabhu, what Damodar is saying, Prabhu, you came to me in the form of a dog. The word shwan is a Sanskrit word for dog. Hindi we say kutta. The other line says, roti kutte ne uthai. On this line he used the word shwan. Prabhu, you came to me in the form of a dog, but I recognize you present in this dog. Where can we find such people? Where else can we find such people but India? This is the tradition you now have come from. So Prabhu, take some ghee for your roti. Don't eat a sukhi roti. You recognize Bhagavan. So Valmiki ji is saying, Prabhu, go and live in those people's heart who have this insatiable hunger to listen to your praises at all times. Just like how the ocean does not overflow. The ocean accepts all kinds of water. These devotees of yours, go and live in their heart who have this hunger, always want to listen to your katha, want to listen to your praises, who want to listen to Ramayana, Bhagavad Puran, Shiv Puran, Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Mahabharata. The desire is always there to learn more of Bhagavan. As I said earlier, that when you love someone, you always like to hear people talk of that individual. When we love Bhagavan, we always want to hear people talk about Bhagavan. We always want to hear kathas of Bhagavan. So this is the first place, the first of the 14 locations. Prabhu, go and reside in those people's heart. Again, a recognition. People may fail to recognize Bhagavan, but that doesn't mean Bhagavan is not there. Bhagavan is always there. Shri Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai, Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai. So next week we will look at the second location. Yesterday, probably some of you may have looked at the program. This Richard Aziz, who has a program on the West Indian program, he had Hanuman Puja for 3 hours. Hanuman Satsang. We were all there yesterday seeing Hanuman Chalisa and Bhajan. It was a beautiful program for 3 hours. He also has a radio program from 1 p.m. It's called Shabnam Radio, from 1 to 4 p.m. Very active member in our community, and it was nicely organized. We went there. Many devotees went there as well. Many people, of course, he has a TV station with those special box that you can get it. It was live on Facebook and social media, live in Trinidad. I think they did it in Guyana as well. So beautiful satsang, seeing the glories of Hanumanji. We want to thank him, pray that Bhagavan bless him always, that he is doing so much within our community. And mind you, this gentleman is a Muslim. His religion is a Muslim. But, he does so much within the community. He's from Trinidad. Very nice guy. Shri Sita Lakshman Bharat Shatrugna Hanumat Sameta Ramachandraya Namaha Shri Hanumate Namo Namaha Sada Shivaya Namaha Prane Swaha Pane Swaha Vyane Swaha Udane Swaha Brahmani Swaha Brahmani Matma Sarvam Maha Nivedyam Samarpayami. As I said earlier, June Puja, the 18th of this month is Mahashivratri, and Puja starts from 6 p.m. to the following morning, 6 a.m. It's a Saturday night. You don't have to work the next morning, most of you. So come here all night. We do Puja to Bhagwan Shiva. Abhishek goes on all night. And then, of course, after Saturday night, the next morning is Sunday Satsang. So you can walk with your clothes if you want to go, but you have no place to bathe here. You can go somebody who is living close by and stay on for Satsang afterwards. So Saturday night all night, up to 6 a.m. in the morning. Then regular Satsang from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. That's on the 18th, and then the Sunday is the 19th. Also, we are having fundraising ceremonies for us to our Monday building fund, so that we can raise some funds to have our own place of worship. And we are planning a holy dinner, but the tickets are going so fast. I think most of it is sold out already. And this will be on the 5th of March. The 5th of March is a holy dinner. Last October we had the Diwali dinner, the same location, Audley Recreation Center. Many devotees wanted tickets the last time. We had only two rooms. We could have accommodated only 300 people. Now we have all 3 rooms. We should be able to accommodate over 400 people. But the tremendous love and support from the community that we can, we're so thankful for. Outpouring of love and support from all of you. So we thank you, those who are still joining online as well. We're very grateful for your love, your support, your contribution. And, places of worship, they rely totally on donation, the generosity of devotees. Any place of worship, any religion, any place of worship, rely totally on the generosity of the congregation. And you have been extremely generous for the past 11 years. And when we think about it, it's all because of Hanumanji's Kripa. Hanumanji inspires you and your family to come, to be part of satsang, and to keep this beautiful place of worship going, so that all of us can come whenever we can and sit in satsang. So thank you very much for your generosity, your love, your support. But we have big things to do. We need to have our own mandir in Ajax. When it will happen, how will it will happen, it's not in your hand or my hand. It's in the hands of Shri Hanumanji. And when the time is right, he's going to make it happen. So that's our goal, to have our own place of worship. And just like how every other temple started, they started, from a little place of worship, and they grew eventually. And by the grace of Hanumanji, he's in Ajax, and he's here to stay. He's not going anywhere. He's omnipresent. But he likes this location here, so we like to have that special place of worship for him. And that's why we're having these fundraising activities. So thank you very much for your generosity. The children will be performing a special play. Those who receive email, the children, I think they had a rehearsal yesterday, the play of Prahalad. We have a magician this year as well. Pull out rabbits from the hat and everything. We have some very talented singers in GT area. So it's a cultural program. Everything the mandir is involved in is totally cultural program. It has to be that way. We can't mix any other thing with culture, with the mandir. So it'll be a cultural program, and it goes without saying what kind of food will be there. If you ask what kind of food is there, then you don't know me. If you ask what kind of food will be at the dinner, you don't know me. Or you don't know the mandir what we stand for. So it has to be that way. So that will be done on the 5th of March.
Bolo Ramachandra Bhagavan ki jai, Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai.
Purnima is next Sunday. Every Purnima or full moon, and every Purnima we have puja in the evening. So although it's a Sunday, we have a regular Sunday satsang, and Satyanarayana Bhagwan puja from 6:30 in the afternoon next Sunday. If you never came for Purnima, it's a beautiful way for us to come and worship Vishnu Bhagavan. We have all the murtis of Satyanarayana Bhagwan, Saligram. Everyone comes for Abhishek, and we look at the Katha of Satyanarayana Bhagwan as well. Om. Let us sing the glories of Bhagavan for a couple of minutes, and we'll do Aarti. Today my Bhabi came all the way with this snow from Markham. She makes pretty bhoj quite often when there is no sponsor. So there's a feast for us always after satsang. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Bolo Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Pavan Tana Bal Pavan Samana. Pavan Tana Bal Pavan Samana. Buddhi Vivek Vigyan Nidhana. Buddhi Vivek Vigyan Nidhana. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Ram Ram Prabhu Barambar. Ram Ram Prabhu Barambar. Ram Let Bhav Sagar Para. Ram Let Bhav Sagar Para. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Shri
राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
बोलिए रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। Please stand everyone, come we'll do आरती। ओम प्रकृष्ट पापनाशाय प्रकृष्ट फल सिद्धये प्रदक्षिणं करोमि शं प्रसीद परमेश्वर। आइए प्लीज कम we'll do आरती। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिय पीति। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिय पीति। गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद, गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद। वाल्मीकि विज्ञान विशारद, वाल्मीकि विज्ञान विशारद। शुद्ध सनकादिशेष अनुसारद,
शुद्ध सनकादिशेष अनुशारद।
वर्णि पवन सुत
कीरति नेति। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिय पीति।
गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश,
गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश।
सहु शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन मोरस।
शहु शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस।
मुनिजन धन संतन को सर्वस।
मुनिधन जन संतन को सर्वस।
सारा अंश
समत सबरी। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिय पीति।
गावत संतत शंभु भवानी।
गावत संतन शंभु भवानी।
अरुहत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी।
अरुहत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी।
व्यास आदि कविवर्ग बखानी।
व्यास आदि कविवर्ग बखानी। काव्यकुसुम गरुड़ कीर्ति। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिय पीति।
कलिमल हरनि विषय रस प्रीति।
कलिमल हरनि विषय रस प्रीति।
सुभग सिंगार मोक्ति जुगतीति।
सुभग सिंगार मोक्ति अवतीति।
दलन रूप भाव मोरि अमीति।
दलन रोग भोरि अमीति।
सात मात सब
सब विधि कलतीति। आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिय पीति।
आरती श्री
रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सिय पीति।
ओम श्री राम जय जय राम। पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं च नारदन यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ द्यौः शान्तिः
अंतरिक्षं शांति पृथ्वी शांति आकाश शांति औषधय शांति वनस्पत्य शांति
विश्वदेव शान्तिः ब्रह्मा शान्तिः सर्वगं शान्ति शान्तिरेव शान्तसामा शान्तिरेधि गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। बोले रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय, जगदम्बे मैया की जय। हर हर नमः पार्वती पतये, हर हर महादेव। सनातन धर्म